is a Huracan in a business suit. This is the 2017 Audi R8 V10 PLUS, not to be confused with the non-Plus, which I actually drove a couple years ago. It's the same owner as this one. He got rid of it, got a GT3, got out of the GT3, and bought this. When I drove the non-Plus, I was nonplussed. I liked it, it's fun. It felt more like an A4 most of the time. You'd forget what you were driving. Whereas with this car, it feels much more Huracan. So I was curious about what made them different. Obviously there's a power bump from like 540 to 610 in this, but that can't be it. I mean, obviously there's some suspension changes, but really the big kicker that I found is the gearing. This has shorter gearing after second. So first and second gear are the same gear ratios as the non-Plus, and then the Plus ends up with shorter gears, third through seventh. Body style, I actually really like the new generation of R8. Now this obviously is not the new R8, doesn't have all the funny vents on the hood. This was a little controversial because we've got a lot of plastic here, some vents that aren't actually vents. The grill, we've got this nice big grill, and about half of it is blocked off. Same deal on the side here. So on the side blade you've got carbon fiber, but then that's blocked off, that's blocked off, that's blocked off. I really like the rear end because these are all open, and this big diffuser is very handsome. I think this car has a really nice, stately, handsome presence on the road, and it's not quite as ostentatious as the Huracan. And then of course, nice big glass view of that V10. If you're curious how to fuel an R8, that just pops open. And door handles, let me show you underneath. Kind of a normal door handle, and you just pull up. Lots of carbon fiber accents inside. Interior, we're going to talk about this when we're driving, because honestly this is probably one of my favorite interiors in the car industry. It's so simple, ergonomic, it's not cluttered, it's wonderful. But you also notice we've got the sport buckets. These are wonderful. They're handsome, they're thin, they are not for big people. When you sit in here, it feels like this is grabbing your spine. So I'm a small dude. That works for me. If you're a big guy or gal, maybe you want to test those out before you buy it. In the cockpit, and it does feel like a cockpit, you've got relatively good visibility, especially compared to its brother, the Huracan, which I think has a much more steep, I could be wrong, but it feels like it has a less steep windshield, and I feel like I've got more visibility out of the front and sides. However, this absolutely suffers from that rear 3/4 on both sides. It's very difficult to see out of the car when you do the look back. You need to rely on those mirrors quite a bit. Don't love that. One reason I don't love that is because when you're getting on the highway, you'd like to be able to look back. You've still got this glass, but you've got to rely on that power a little bit, because you look, you check, you make sure no one's there. It looks like no one's there. You better just get on it, because sometimes things just appear on you. I don't love that. We're greeted with a very nice high definition display here. If you are Audi literate, this will be second nature to you. I am not. It takes me a little bit of time to think through, so I don't use it when I'm driving. I don't want to get in an accident in someone else's car. I love, like I said, this interior. You know, we've got our HVAC controls right here. We've got a shifter. I mean, it's very straightforward. The only thing, you know, I don't love this. Put windows up, we're tinted. Let's go for a drive. R8s are really usable supercars. There's a big lip here, and we're not using a nose lift. We just can drive over it. We've got the clearance. You could use this pretty much anywhere. All right, so on your steering wheel, you have your drive select. What you're gonna wanna do is move it to dynamic, and then over here, you're gonna want that in sport, and then if we hit a paddle, we're in manual, and then we can play. We need to go to a highway though. This car's too fast for back roads. One thing that you'll notice from the POV, we got a thumbs up from an Audi driver, is These paddle shifters are not the big giant racing paddles that you get on a Huracan. The other thing that you notice if you do drive the car and feel them is they are plastic. These are not like some nice forged aluminum nice thing, like, oh my goodness, it's kind of lame, frankly. It's kind of lame. So if you were modifying your car, maybe that's the one thing you'd want to do. That's the same on the non-plus as well. So I don't know what to tell you. I think it's very strange that you have to buy the Huracan to get good paddles. And on the back, it's just like a little bit of a grip back here. It's nothing crazy. Ground clearance is a beautiful thing. This would be a little scarier in a Huracan. Turkey. Becomes very apparent how wide the car is because you've got all this room to lean over on it when you get into a corner. But even though we're getting slowed down by traffic, that means we just get to do a little explosive acceleration. We're just going to do this from third gear. Or actually, we'll do it from second. You got to hear this at the high revs for an upshift. Let this guy go. Like that, you're out of the hole. You can see the fun colors, like they make it like a video game. It lights up all kinds of colors while you're driving. Okay, so now we're, let's say, 80 miles an hour. It does turn quite a few RPMs, and that's because the final drive is exactly the same as the non-plus, but that final gear, everything 3 through 7 are shorter. So if you were trying to, I don't know why you would do this, but if you were trying to have this as your highway cruiser and eke out all the fuel economy in the world, I guess the non-plus is for you. But otherwise, you're gonna want this one. The non-plus is more comfortable. The non-plus is for a daily driver that you just need to have the appearance of a supercar. The Plus is for someone who basically wants a Huracan without the baggage associated with being a Huracan owner. And I don't mean that in a negative way. I just mean like this gets attention, but kids don't run into the streets with this car to scream at you and say, oh my God, oh my God. Women don't look at you and go like this when they see this car, like they do when they see a bright Lamborghini go by. And that's another thing. Everyone thinks that like, they're going to pick up ladies in their supercar. That is usually false. Most women think these cars are so silly. And this is a great balance because you can get it in silver or black or white, and it's kind of understated. I know that sounds ridiculous because it's a wild looking body style, but somehow it still allows you to be a gentleman in your supercar rather than an ostentatious, look at me kind of guy. See, those girls liked it. They smiled. I don't know that they smile at the Huracan guys. I think they laugh at the Huracan guys. Fuel economy. I mean, not that you're buying the car for fuel economy, but it is something to note. I've had the car for a day now. I've driven a little bit like this, but I've also just cruised on the highway at 80 miles an hour. Currently, 12 miles per gallon. Let's take 13.4 is what I'm averaging over the last 87 miles. Not great. I don't like that you're slowing down. What do you know that I don't know? Oh, you're just looking at the car. Okay, that's fine. The DCT is the only available option on this generation of R8 to some people's chagrin. I really liked the gated manual in the last generation, and I did a video of one of those that was rear-wheel drive converted. What a hoot. Actually, we should talk about the RWS in a minute too. But this gearbox suits the car. I mean, this car is very quick. I don't feel like I'm not engaged because I don't have a manual gearbox. That's fine. Probably not smart to do that over a blind crest where Massachusetts State Police are waiting for me. But if you've driven any sort of Volkswagen or Audi in the last like 10 years, this would be pretty familiar to you. Carbon ceramic brakes and DSG. Gotta be clever about how you come to a stop in this car. I've definitely done some clunky stops. That's the one thing that I do prefer a manual with, is smoothness. Don't Don't want to hit bumps. Back on the highway. Here's some burbles on the overrun. Not excessive though. Lots of revs to play with too. Isn't that great? Try not to hit these bumps. It's got this great Audi plate. This is so cool. Doesn't care about me. Does not care. I care about him though. It's a detailing company. All right, well, there's your free advertising for the day. So yeah, we've got power and torque gauges here, which are gimmicky to say the least. I don't care. I mean, maybe if I was like rewatching myself at the track, I would want to know what I'm doing, but I genuinely don't. I don't need that. That's fine. But you do have your nav screen right here, and that is lovely. Who knows how this will age? It may not age well. Maybe things are going to get really good in the future and this will look old and hokey, but I like that you don't have to take your eyes off the road. Cool Mercedes SL over there from the 80s, except when there's a Mercedes on the road that you have to look at. Now, how the hell do I get back to the other view? I think I just hit this. Oh my goodness. See, I'm not Audi literate. That's kind of neat. I can still make this on-ramp too, which is amazing. Watch this. That's the beauty of power. Not a crazy amount of torque. It's only about 400 something pound-feet of torque. But it's enough. Those little burbles. We got a little tunnel. I mean, you have to do it, right? In this car, you can see traffic lights. The Huracan, you can't see traffic lights. I'm still low enough in this car. Huracan, I feel like I'm sitting up like this, so you're always ducking to see. Is it green? You don't even mind that you have to stop again. And by the way, these carbon ceramics are great. Trying to be graceful. It's a little tricky to be graceful on these brakes because you've got the gearbox pushing because it wants to go. It's actually like asking for it. And then you've also got these carbon ceramic brakes which are very grabby. Isn't that great? We can go over bumps in a supercar at like a normal speed. And it's not ruining our day. It's not making me go find a dentist who can work on my teeth after I bite them off. Like the golden fisherman. Throttle response is the name of the game here, and I think it's really fun that it feels like a tuned car. A lot of factory cars come from the factory and immediately need a tune of some sort to make it more drivable, to make it more enjoyable to drive. This car feels like Audi did a good job off the bat. I'm sure people do tune them. I'm sure people get a little more horsepower out of them. Not a lot, naturally aspirated, so you're not going to go crazy unless you take off the cats. But it feels fantastic. It feels like it just is the way it's supposed to be. This gearbox shifts lightning fast. The throttle response is exactly what you're looking for. The throttle mapping is exactly what you're looking for. And when you get off the throttle, it comes off throttle. It doesn't do any rev hang BS. It just does what you want it to do. And that is a special thing. And we don't get it often enough. And I think you really need to go supercar to get that. All the other sports cars, it's like you always got to do something to them to make them more enjoyable. That's why you drive slow around blind things. Off camber. It's Memorial Day. Let's go get a treat. All right, final thoughts on the R8 V10 Plus. So you gotta get the Plus, 100%, like hands down, you gotta get the Plus unless you're just looking for like a comfortable car that looks like a stunner. And that's fine. Like, I'm not gonna blame you for not getting the Plus, but I will say if you want like the legitimate experience of a supercar, the base is probably not gonna do that for you. This brings up another point. What about the RWS? That's the rear wheel drive car. Now, the RWS is lower on power than this, so it seems to be based off of the base car, the non-Plus. And I actually just got off the phone with somebody who told me that they drove an RWS and they were not that impressed. So this brings up the conundrum. Like, do you go with the what seems to be the hardcore raw version, which is the rear wheel drive R8, or do you go with the V10 Plus? I think based on that conversation, you've got to go V10 Plus because it sounds like the RWS is based on the base. Thank you so much for watching, liking, commenting, and subscribing. Don't forget to respect the drive, and I'll see you in the next one.